first sack ever. Ben Roethlisberger in prime time. That's Champ Bailey saying,
that's just outstanding.
Sean Moreno, touchdown Denver. How sweet was that drive? And you can follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. As we start the second half, Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Opening night in Denver. Opening night of the Manning era. 10-7. Steelers on top, and Pittsburgh will get the ball as we start the third quarter. Matt Prater to send it down toward Chris Rainey. And Ben Roethlisberger will start from the 20. Before that, let's go to Michelle.
Well, with right tackle Marcus Gilbert questionable with a left knee, rookie Mike Adams has stepped in. Mike Tomlin told me at halftime that Adams did get some work in the preseason at right tackle. He feels confident in him. They're not going to give him any help on the line. And by the way, right guard Ramon Foster is also questionable because of an eye issue. I asked Mike Tomlin if we'd see some more no huddle in the second half, and he said you could see a heck of a lot more if it looks as good as it did on that scoring drive.
I'll bet. Thank you, Michelle. Here's Adams. Doug Legursky has gone over to right guard. He's the backup center to Pouncey. The drive begins at the 20-yard line with a blitz, and the pass is a little underthrown and behind wire as the heat was put on by the Denver defense. Second down and 10.
It's kind of interesting that we didn't see a lot of in that first half. And granted, there were two deep safeties a lot of times for the Denver Broncos. But Mike Wallace last year, the wide receiver, started the year 8 for 13 on deep balls. Was just a terror. But they finished the season 0 for 8 trying to throw it deep and haven't hit one yet today or even tried one down the field.
And again, Wallace also coming off the holdout in training camp. Pulling at altitude is Dwyer, runs into his own man, and then is able to plunge ahead for a gain of 3. It'll be third down and 7 for the Steelers.
And one of the real positives for the Denver Broncos so far is they have pretty effectively shut down the running game of the Pittsburgh Steelers. These big guys, Derek Wolfe, Ty Warren, Justin Bannon inside have done their job. Now they've got to get off the field on 3rd and 8. This is the moment for the secondary.
And Pittsburgh, as Michelle talked about, with Tomlin saying to her at halftime, you might see more of the no huddle. You're seeing it right here, even though the play clock is going all the way down.
Single coverage on Wallace if he wants it.
And now you got Willie Colon.
74 offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
And that'll make it third down and 12.
And this is what makes it really tough because now defensively you have a chance to bring a blitz. Then they get forced to throw one of those quick balls, the hot throws and all that. You make a tackle on 3rd and 8. You don't do that. On 3rd and 12, a lot of times that's what you see defensively.
Send 4 over the middle, and the catch is made out at the 33 by Emmanuel Sanders for a first down.
Boy, Joe Mays has got to be saying, what was that? Number 51 running right down the middle of the field. Emmanuel Sanders, it flips him around the tightest of windows, and Ben is just having a tremendous game. Now you know why they abandoned the running game in years past.
From the 33. To the ground. To Dwyer. And Dwyer out to the 39 as we take a look at Ben's first half.
Now they started with a lot of quick throws to try and slow down the pass rush when the Broncos were bringing some pressure. Just get it out of his hands. And then we all know what came next. Some of the pump fakes and the scramble and the Ben being Ben, and then there were the touchdown throws. So that's what you get. You slow down the pass rush with those quick ones and gives him a chance to do his thing.
Second down and 5. Blitz again. They pick it up. He goes to Miller. And Miller takes the ball for a first down to the Denver 47-yard line. Heath Miller.
Great read that time by Ben Roethlisberger. Blitz coming off to his right over here, and they're going to have to try and cover Heath from inside out, and they just can't get there. It looks easy, but when you're a quarterback, to try and figure out exactly where that blitz is coming from and where that next defender is going to come from, pretty tough. Nice play.
The opening drive of the second half, sliding left, dumping it off underneath. It's complete, but for minimal gain, if anything. Actually a loss as Dwyer gets taken down. Let's call it no gain, line of scrimmage.
Well, Max Starks got beat on that one, but he stayed with it just long enough, and Ben was able to help him by escaping out to the outside. Here he is. You're going to see the inside move put on by Robert Ayers. Almost gets there, but then Ben does that little slide to help his tackle out.
Again, no huddle, second down and 7. Seventh play of the drive coming here. You get some action up front, and now you got a whistle before the snap. You had movement with Legursky and Vickerson.
Neutral zone infraction, 99 defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Second penalty on Vickerson.
The second one, and they're trying to get after this offensive line. Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers have no depth left whatsoever. Doug Legursky's in at right guard for Ramon Foster. And of course, Mike Adams in for Marcus Gilbert. So that's it. They only dress 7. It would have to be a tight end if something were to happen from here.
There sits Gilbert on the Pittsburgh sideline. Second down and 5. Spread it out. 2 receivers to the left and 3 to Ben's right. And he comes to the left side. It's juggled. It's taken by Redmond. And Redmond is able to get to the 40-yard line where he's tackled by Raheem Moore. We'll make it third down and 3.
You know, it's one of the problems not having Rashard Mendenhall in there. When Mendenhall is coming out of the backfield with his speed, some of those catches and runs can turn into 25-yard plays. Not quite the same threat with Redmond coming out.
Mendenhall with the knee injury making the trip. Hope to have him back. The Steelers do next week. Third and 3. Good protection. Now it begins to break down. Now Ben's going to pack it in. He's going to dive. And he's going to come up a little bit short of the first down. They're going to spot it just inside the 38-yard line, which is going to make it fourth down and inches.
You know, they may give him the bounce on this one. Let's see if he was touched at all before he goes down. Do you get the bounce?
You should. Well, there's contact there. With the naked eye right now, he's a little bit short of the first down. Then what if you're Tomlin? He was touched before he went down, even though he was able to stumble ahead for a few yards. And
yeah, but I don't think that's what put him down, though. I think he regained his balance after that point.
Well, that's an official's call. Take a look at this. So he starts to lose his balance.
I don't think anybody touched him. You could read Mike Tomlin's lips. He was saying, "Let's go."
You can challenge the spot if you're Tomlin, but I don't see where they're going to move any closer to the 37-yard line. So for the moment, anyway, they're going to line up to go for it. Fourth and a couple of inches.
Isaac Redmond, one of the best in the NFL at this.
And Ben is going to keep it himself, and we'll see where they spot it. Roethlisberger sliding to his left. Doomerville was there. He only needed an inch or 2. And he's clearly got the first down where he put the ball down. The crowd hates the spot. Yeah, his knees. I didn't see.
I'm not sure the ball ever got to the yellow line.
I'm not sure either. And again, that's challengeable.
He should have gotten the bounce on the prior one
by Fox,
and got a good one on this one
from the 37-yard line.
Ball start, 74 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
A ton of those tonight. That's Cologne.
You know, you wonder if Willie Colon might be getting a little tired in this thin air here. He hasn't played but one game, and that was at right tackle. And now he's asked to come over here at left guard. And believe me, I know from firsthand experience, this is a tough place on opening day. Easy to wear down.
First and 15 from the 41. Through the middle. Redmond again. Not getting anything going with that running game tonight. Again with Mendenhall out. Redmond's been the main guy, but he has carried the ball 9 times for 17 yards, so that's less than 2 yards per tote.
It's kind of interesting for me to watch Willie Colon playing left guard, pulling around on some of those power plays. It's a work in progress for him.
Second and 12. And a sack. Chris Harris flagged down. Comes in on the blitz, and he got, I believe, a false start against Pittsburgh.
Where the ball was snapped. False start. 84 offense. That penalty is declined.
Absolutely.
No. It was before the snap. Before the snap. 5 yards back.
Right. They should have been whistled before the snap is what it amounts to.
So the play was supposed to have been blown dead, and it looked like a lot of the Steelers offensive linemen on the right-hand side had sort of stopped on the play.
Right.
Like they had heard the whistle. So that's sometimes you get good penalties. That was a good penalty.
John Fox is trying to, he figures the replacement ref, I'll try to decline it even though I can't decline it.
Hey, take a shot.
Take a look at that. Since 5:16 was left in the first half, Peyton Manning has now been on the sideline for, well, about 45 or 50 minutes, counting halftime.
Even Troy Polamalu's hair is dry now. John doesn't look convinced, does he?
No.
You know, and after that 2-minute drive from Peyton Manning and the Broncos, you're thinking, oh boy, the Steelers defense is worn down, but they've been able to rest now, counting halftime for probably 45 minutes.
Second and 17. This drive has consumed only 37 yards and has taken almost 7 minutes. And the pass is caught on a slant, and Wallace gets a big chunk of those 17 before he's tackled by Porter. That's going to make it 3rd down and short.
It's a good read by Ben again. They bring the blitz off of that side, which means that Mike Wallace had the inside slant to himself. You can see the blitz coming inside there from Raheem Moore. Ben saw it. He's doing a beautiful job reading these blitzes tonight.
3rd down and 4. Half the quarter is over. And that's another first down as he goes back to Wallace again. Found the open spot. Ball at the 23. 1st and 10.
You know, Tracy Porter is going to have to give him so much room. He knows who Mike Wallace is, one of the fastest receivers in the game. And, you know, you just have to back off of him. And if they're willing to throw those little dinky underneath passes to Mike Wallace, it's kind of hard to get up there. Almost may invite him to come up and play some bump and run now. He's much closer here.
13th play of the drive. Is Roethlisberger gunning it, and it's incomplete for Brown as Mike Adams got a hand in there. You got an Adams on each side of the field, one for Pittsburgh and one for Denver. And Adams, the veteran safety, came from Cleveland last year, breaking it up.
Boy, just fractionally behind here, but that's some play. You thought maybe if he could have let him a little bit more, but Ben took a pretty good shot just as he was releasing it. Got a lot on that throw. Nice play by Adams.
2nd down and 10.
They're rolled up on these receivers now, not going to give them the freebies.
Broncos playing press coverage, and the Steelers keep it on the ground. As this is Dwyer taking it to the 16-yard line. Cologne helped lead the way, pulling with a block. And it's going to set up a key 3rd down.
See, here's what happens when you're worried about the speed. You play your safeties back there. So if you're Ben Roethlisberger, you say, okay, fine, I'll bring big Willie Cologne around, run a little power play, pick up about 7.
Manning just a spectator for almost an hour now. 3rd and 3. And Roethlisberger, they get to him, and the pass is incomplete. Von Miller came in and then knocks Ben to the grass. And in comes Sweezum.
Well, on that side, you get Elvis Dumerville, who they tried to cut on that play. There was a little bit a strange time to cut. Von Miller, who probably doesn't weigh as much as Ben Roethlisberger, was trying to get him down on the other side.
Yeah, Miller's 237. Ben's got him by a few. Here comes a 35-yard field goal attempt by Sweezum. And that one is good. So they have the ball for almost 9 minutes. We finally get to see Manning again. 6:05 left in the 3rd. The Steelers are up by 6. Most refreshing beer. And by the Samsung's Galaxy S3, the next big thing is here. Here is Denver, Colorado on a very warm Sunday night. Temperature today got up to the high 80s. Clear skies, usual full house here. James Harrison again, not playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Missing him, missing Clark. 5 straight Pro Bowls. Harrison coming back, rehabbing his knee. So they're missing 2 valuable defenders and a couple on offense as well, including Lincoln Cole. But they have the lead 13-7. And as usual, the kick into the end zone off the goalpost. Minute or so, and Manning will the playoffs for the FedEx Cup, the Tour Championship coverage beginning September 20th on Golf Channel, continuing on the 22nd on NBC. McIlroy won today in Indiana. He's on top. Tiger is 2nd. Watney and Mickelson the top 4. Now from the 20-yard line, Peyton Manning has not seen the football for 57 minutes. And he takes the snap from the 29-yard line. Eric Decker actually took 1 snap before the half, but it was a kneel down. So the last time he took a real snap almost an hour ago, and Decker comes off limping. Manning going low huddle against 2nd and inches. Matthew Willis comes in at the other wideout spot, and that is caught by Thomas. Thomas gets blocking inside the 40, the 30, the 10 now. Touchdown Denver. Career touchdowns for Manning, and this one a beauty.
Peyton saw the blitz coming. It goes hot to that side. They get blockers out in front, and it is goodbye. And Demaryius Thomas is a nightmare for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. He himself has made more big plays than the entire league did a season ago. Just beautifully called by Peyton Manning. He saw it, he took advantage of it, and the Broncos are about to go up.
Prater for the extra point. So Manning doesn't see the ball for almost an hour, and then in 36 seconds, he gives Denver the lead again. 14-13 Broncos. Through his 400th at 37 years and a couple of months old. Favre a little before that, he was not quite 37. And Manning, 36 and a half roughly. 616 days since his last touchdown pass, fewest passes of anybody in the club. So he figures to get Marino this year if he stays healthy, and then we'll see about Favre, who's over 100 away. But in 36 seconds and 2 plays, he gives Denver the lead again. And another touchback, which means Roethlisberger starts again from his 20-yard line when we come back to Denver on Sunday Night Football. Studs on the defense, Dumerville and Miller. And Denver goes 80 yards in 2 plays in 36 seconds. So that Denver D back on the field again. Roethlisberger protected well that time and slings him into traffic, and it is incomplete, intended for Antonio Brown at the 50-yard line. Raheem Moore was there with the coverage.
Almost intercepted on that one. Coming all the way across the field. You're going to see the safety. Raheem Moore undercut this one and just miss it. It's a heck of a play. It's one thing they love about Raheem Moore. He had so much speed to the back end of their coverage.
2nd and 10. Is knocked down again. This time it is Tracy Porter on a pass intended for Emmanuel Sanders. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Steelers.
Well, Tracy Porter is learning that just because you cover a guy for 3 or 4 seconds doesn't mean anything. Got away with a little grab there, but really had a great shot at a pick on that one.
So 2 near picks, but Pittsburgh still has the ball. It's 3rd down and 10 from the 20.
Show blitz.
Here they come on a stunt up front, and the pass is dropped.
Helmet to helmet, though.
Sanders right there, and here comes the flag. He got whacked helmet to helmet, and thus the flag comes in.
No question about it.
And Tomlin comes out to check on Sanders. Raheem Moore, helmet to helmet.
Doesn't matter, even if it's not any of those blows up around the head. Jeez, you can see why the league's trying to eliminate him. Either one of them could have been hurt badly.
Incomplete. Automatic first down.
So you miss 2 interceptions that you have great shots for, and then a helmet to helmet. All of a sudden the drive that would have ended is still alive.
So they're going to march it off. It's a 15-yard penalty. Took it back to the 20. I mean, it's pretty simple. The nose of the ball was at the 20 and move it to the 35. Crowd booing. I think a lot of them thought it was pass interference that was called. It wasn't.
You have more experience refereeing than they do down here.
Beginning to look like it. At the 35. And then dumps it into traffic. And that's Chris Rainey making the catch. Tackled by Vickerson. So Rainey seeing his first action ever tonight, obviously 5th-round draft choice out of the University of Florida, and a guy who can not only make his mark out of the backfield with big plays, but a great special teams performer, and a guy who's a kick blocker supreme.
If he ever gets in the open field, you'll see a little magic there too. Big play threat on any given play.
2nd and 11. And Ben's going to go down. They ran right by Legursky. That Joe Mays and Chris Harris coming in with the mile-high salute, made famous by Terrell Davis.
Yeah, they're getting some pressure right over here with this Chris Harris blitz off the side, in addition to what's happening up the middle of the field. Doug Legursky trying to hang on, and boy, they really think highly of Joe Mays, don't they? They talk about when he hits you, you know you've been hit, and that was a big one.
Look throw over Mike Tomlin's shoulder. Each team with a pair of sacks tonight. 3rd down and 18 from the 27. And Roethlisberger throws, and that's going to be a big first down to Heath Miller to the 50-yard line. So when in doubt, he goes to that security blanket. He's done it for years. 23 yards.
Out and up move, and he is tearing up these linebackers. This time it's Wesley Woodyard who bit on the fake. There was no reason to bite on the fake. If he had caught that out, would have been no problem. And Max Starks inside fighting for his life, but got it done.
Let him catch the out, so he gains 8 or 9 yards. It's still 4th down. Instead, a first down, gain of 23. Now they give it to Dwyer. Around the corner he goes, and that's going to be a personal foul because it looked like Boomerville grabbed him by the face mask. Seven penalties tonight against Pittsburgh, 4 against Denver, and a number of others have been declined.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Yeah, the Broncos got away with a face mask on the prior drive against Ben Roethlisberger, but this one's pretty easy to see. And now you have to start to wonder, is Denver's defense, despite the fact that they live and work here, starting to wear down just a little bit? They've been out there forever.
Especially so on opening day, and as you can see, the time of possession is 2-1 in favor of the Steelers. Pittsburgh has run 54 plays, and Denver has run only 32. Personal foul will move the ball to the 32-yard line, and this will be the 8th play of this drive. So Pittsburgh in this half has had the ball for 23 plays, and Denver 2. Shoulder shake. Dwyer then makes the catch. Good tough running, staying in bounds, adding the extra yardage, and he might have a first down by getting to the 22-yard line.
Leading rusher in preseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You just get the feeling that Jonathan Dwyer is desperate for the opportunity to get a chance to play. Tracy Porter, not known as a very good tackler, showed you exactly why there. Good fight, though, by Jonathan Dwyer.
That turned a 5 or 6 yard gain into an 11-yard gain and a first down. Redmond back in as the running back. Play action over the middle and incomplete. That was Jericho Cotchery. First time he's been targeted tonight. The intended receiver, and Ben says, I missed it. It's on me. Second down.
Yeah, but Ben didn't take a shot that time because Isaac Redmond is going to save his quarterback off of that play fake. So many times those running backs don't see that blitzer. Redmond, a nice pickup there. You don't get the completion, but you save your quarterback a shot.
2 minutes to play in the quarter. To the ground again on 2nd and long. To the 19-yard line goes Isaac Redmond. Again, really no semblance of a rushing attack, though Dwyer's had a couple of decent runs. Redmond, 10 carries, 21 yards. Haley calling the play in. 3rd and 7. Jack Del Rio calling the defense. Been great on 3rd down tonight. Good protection. And again, it's Miller. And again, it's a huge third down conversion for him to the 11-yard line. Goes Heath Miller.
They're just running some little crossing routes over the middle, and Heath Miller coming out of the wide side of that bunch formation, helping on Doomerville. And then as the crisscross happens, Heath Miller able to make the catch and pick up another first down. Good protection again.
4 catches, 50 yards for Miller tonight, and Pittsburgh's only touchdown. Final minute of the quarter. On the ground, inside. Dwyer will break it to the outside, and Dwyer will leap in for the touchdown. Mike Adams could not corral him, and Dwyer takes it into the end zone, and Pittsburgh is back on top.
It's amazing how many times today that the Broncos have had this thing locked up inside, and then the backs of the Steelers just bounce it out and around, and there's nobody there to have the contain. That time Mike Adams in position, but Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning there starting to look a little unstoppable.
Well, look at that knee. The knee looks down. This gets reviewed upstairs. Remember, all scoring plays get reviewed, and when they see this should come back.
The previous play is under review.
So it's very clear that it's under review, and it's going to wind up back at the 2-yard line. So for the moment, Denver still has the lead.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The runner's knee is down. Ball is at the 2-yard line. Second down.
Well, the crowd lets out a big cheer. That's the good news. The bad news is it's second down and 1 at the 2-yard line.
Contact brings him down. Knee down there. Ball at the 2-yard line.
And with 24 seconds now to go in the third quarter, and they're going to wind the clock so they don't have to run a play. And Ben, that's exactly what they're talking about right now. Because the play clock would go to 25, the game clock's at 24. You're going to wind it here, and Ben is basically saying, I'm not going to run it into this end zone. I'm going to take it all the way the other way. So in the quarter, the Broncos had the ball for 36 seconds. We're going to go to the fourth quarter in Denver. The Broncos are on top. A light moment between Roethlisberger and Bailey. 14-13 Broncos. Sunday Night Football resumes after this. Fourth quarter begins. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. 14-13 Denver on top. But look at those statistics for the third quarter. 36 seconds. Denver's had the ball 27 plays to 2. The touchdown was just reversed, but it's second down and 1 from the 2-yard line as we start the final quarter. Chris Rainey is the tailback. They give it to the upback, who's Redmond, and he gets stood up behind the line of scrimmage. That's Von Miller, and that's going to make it third down and a couple.
Mike Adams got beat across his face on that one. Just couldn't quite get the inside gap right here. Tried to reach there and just was no way. Kevin Vickerson got in there and made the play on Redmond.
Third and 2. Redmond is the back. Miller going to the corner, and the pass goes to Wallace for the touchdown. They had Wallace outside. They had Miller going to the corner of the end zone, and Pittsburgh does get its touchdown. That was reversed on the call to take the lead again, 19-14, and now they go for 2.
What a throw by Ben. Back shoulder on a slant. Tracy Porter could not have covered that any better. It was just absolutely perfectly executed by Ben Roethlisberger. That was the only spot he gets a completion on that one.
As I say, go for 2 here to make it a 7-point lead. Sanders flanks wide to the left. Three receivers set to the right. And looking that way and throwing, that was batted. That's incomplete. Tried to get it to Pope.
Or Justin Bannon maybe got it.
Yep. Tipped away to make it a 5-point game. Pittsburgh on top. Trusted by all 32 NFL teams. By Audi, Truth in Engineering, and by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. In Denver now, Pittsburgh up by 5 with 14:11 to go in the 4th. Manning's been biding his time for about an hour and 20, apart from the 2 plays he was involved in, one of which resulted in a go-ahead touchdown. And then Denver will finally get the ball again at the 20-yard line. Next Sunday night to San Francisco we go. America's game of the week, the Detroit Lions. Coming from behind today, Stafford leading that late drive to beat St. Louis against the 49ers, who knocked off the Green Bay Packers. And of course, this is the renewal of the handshake, in a manner of speaking. Schwartz and Jim Harbaugh last year in Detroit. Can't we all get along? Next Sunday night. From the shotgun on first down. Here goes Willis McGahee for a gain of 9. Think about the NFL and today. I mean, just the wild endings all over the place. Philadelphia over Cleveland, Detroit over St. Louis, 49ers knocking off Green Bay. It never ceases. Minnesota somehow wrangling one from Jacksonville.
Are you predicting something here?
Another great one.
Yeah, looks like it, huh?
McGahee up to the 40-yard line on the 2nd and 1. He gets 11 yards on a first down.
You know, when Troy Polamalu is playing the deep free safety, I think that Peyton Manning feels a little more secure in calling some of these run plays, so you don't get that X factor down around the line of scrimmage. Now it looks like they're going to flip-flop back there and bring Polamalu back down in the action.
Polamalu now covering the slot receiver. Manning looks to the outside. Here's Thomas. Taylor misses him. And then Polamalu wraps him down or knocks him down with an arm tackle at the 50-yard line.
Remember the stiff arm that Marius Thomas put on Ike Taylor for the game winner in overtime? This guy is 6'3", 235 pounds. Even Troy Polamalu having a little trouble wrestling him down.
And then a move, the change again is Noshawn Moreno takes it to the 48-yard line.
Well, again, you see Troy Polamalu playing back here deep, and so Peyton deciding that's a good time to run it again. As an offensive player, the more he is 15 yards away from the ball, the happier I am.
And they hit Decker. And Eric Decker, the third-year wide receiver out of Minnesota, the 43-yard line. He was their leading receiver last year. Of course, a team that loved to run with Tebow at quarterback. 2nd and 4. Manning not letting the defense rest. And that's caught at the 31-yard line by Matthew Willis and a first down.
Well, any questions you have about Peyton Manning's arm, you can just put them in your hip pocket now. Watch this throw. All the way across the field, far hash, drops it in there beautifully. And he has not been stopped since they've gone to the no-huddle. This has been near perfection.
15 of 19 on the night, 206 yards. Looking like vintage Manning throwing, and that one's a little high and tipped and incomplete. Trying to get it into Eric Decker.
Lewis on the coverage there. There was definitely a little pushing and shoving, but I have to say I thought that was a pretty good no call, at least at first glance. Man coverage for Lewis.
How did look at second glance.
Well, still, I wouldn't call it anything. Getting soft.
2nd and 10. And Manning slings it to the outside, and that is caught, and getting up and trying to get the first down is Jacob Tamme, and he does. So Tamme was about a yard shy, was able to get up and pick up the 2 extra yards to move the chains.
Well, Peyton Manning didn't even step into that throw. His feet were pointed up the field, and he sort of did the sidearm slingshot out there on that one. And Jacob Tamme is remembering his old pal from Indianapolis.
Inside fake on first down. Hits his receiver at the 5, and this is Decker taking the ball to the 1, and he's down there. The play was whistled dead at the 1-yard line for a 1st and goal. And Manning says, let's keep it up. Let's not let him change.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was down on this play. Let's take a look. Close.
But Manning wants to get the play off before there's any possibility of a challenge, and it winds up as a no touchdown call. Just short of the goal line. You saw what Manning was doing. Tomlin wanted a challenge. There's the flag, but once a play was run, the next play was run, you cannot challenge it. You can't go back. And Tomlin's going to try to say that he wanted the challenge beforehand. Now you're going to have a real brouhaha here. When was the challenge flag thrown? Here it comes. There it goes. Just at about the time the ball was snapped. And did any officials see it?
Wouldn't matter. His knee was down anyway. It's not going to matter. Except for the fact that it would cost Pittsburgh a timeout.
Right.
Which may matter.
And a challenge.
He reached.
Prior to the ball being snapped, Pittsburgh was challenging the prior play. There was no play.
And of course, you hear the Broncos all saying they ran a play. Well, in any event, the it's going to stand at the 1-yard line when we come back after all this puzzle ride. This is still not going to come up Pittsburgh's way after all this. It's going to cost them a timeout and one of their 2 challenges because Decker's knee is down as he has possession of the ball. And the way we see it, they'll spot the ball at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal.
Yeah, and they get first down back because they didn't score the touchdown, so it would have been 2nd down. So there's really no positive that comes out of this for Pittsburgh.
Here comes the flag. Remember, you'll see the flag coming in. There was the snap simultaneous. The official has to see the flag before the snap.
Now there is the possibility that another official, not the referee, saw the flag before the snap, and then they get together and say, yes, I did see him throw the flag first.
Oh, sure.
I'm just making it up.
Here comes the call.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Pittsburgh will be charged a timeout. Be first down on the 1-yard line.
So it all turns out in Denver's favor. And John Fox, of course, who was livid, saying, how can he make that call after the fact, winds up as the beneficiary in every way.
And now because Pittsburgh went for the 2-point conversion on the other end, if the Broncos score a touchdown, they'll go for 2 and try and stretch this thing to 3. So a lot of give and take here.
Good stuff. 9:34 remaining in regulation. This is a 4.5-minute drive that started back at the 20 after a touchback. 3 rushes and 5 pass plays on this drive. And Manning's going to set up initially in the gun with McGahee right there. But first things first.
And the Steelers have really sort of shown they're going to play bump and run man-to-man coverage. And Peyton had time to go walk out and say something to his wideouts.
Manning rolling left and throwing. Touchdown. Jacob Tamme. His old Colt teammate.
Let's see if he controls this ball going to the ground. Is it over the line of scrimmage and he's down? I think he does control it all the way.
Yep, right there. Over the plane.
Bottom hits the ground, and that looks like a touchdown. But the pre-snap was interesting. Peyton Manning was standing at the line of scrimmage, and the defense was already set for Pittsburgh. I think he came out and changed the play. He saw the bump and run man-to-man, ran the pick play over here, and got the touchdown.
Brings all of his wiles from Indianapolis with him.
Yes, sir.
Going for two to try to make it a 3-point game. Good time. Moving forward, and then it is caught for the conversion. McGahee broke the plane of the goal line, and Manning brings them back again. 9:23 left in regulation. On a wild opening night in Denver. /fantasy and sign up. Denver, Colorado on this Sunday night. Back and forth we go. Denver with a lead by 3. And Prater sends this one 9 yards in, and Rainey thought about it, wanted to do it, was told not to. Back to the touchdown we go.
Yeah, they were all sitting around waiting for the referee to signal the ball ready, but the defense had set itself. The offense did, so Peyton said, look, we're going to run the little pick play over here. He changed the play before the referee even signaled the ball ready for play. Now you can see the referee come in, but the look he got was good enough, so he does the sprint out that way. Easy touchdown. Peyton taking advantage of every opportunity, including a slow mark of the ball.
Now Roethlisberger from the 20. Rainey is the running back. Toss to him. Comes back the other way. And Rainey turns it into a 7-yard gain as he begins this drive by taking it to the 27-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
That was a deliberate play. Marquise Pouncey, the center, started to his right and then's going to circle back around this way. They're going to try and take advantage of Chris Rainey's speed to the outside. Picked up 7.
Inside 9 minutes to play. Three-man rush. 8 back. Going deep. Broken up. Tracy Porter with Mike Wallace down the sideline. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
One of the rare times now that they have come with a single safety. This is straight one-on-one coverage, and Tracy Porter just earned whatever it was they were paying him. That's one of the toughest assignments in the NFL, and he played that beautifully.
Came over from the Saints as a free agent in the offseason. 3rd and 3. Bailey on Wallace this time. Now Brown comes to the right side as well.
Well, they blew the coverage.
And Ben slings it over the middle, and that is broken up by Tracy Porter. Despite blowing the coverage, it's 4th down.
They mix up over here, and they don't cover Mike Wallace running down the middle of the field. They've got him for a touchdown. Ben never saw it. They messed up the switch off, had the freebie, and just missed it.
Now the first punt of the half. Butler's punt fielded at the 28-yard line. This is Jim Leonard bringing it back out to the 38-yard line. So Denver with a 3-point lead and the football. 8:18 to go. Normal tomorrow after The Voice, and then the series premiere Tuesday night right here on NBC.
How do they do that in that skate park?
Let's get some future Olympians over there.
Man.
Back we come to the 37, and it's interesting to see what Denver's going to do on this drive in terms of huddle or no huddle. Here's McGahee. They've had so much success tonight running the typical Manning no huddle. All of their scoring coming off of that, but now at this particular point, you want to begin to use the clock. So maybe it's like it used to be in Indianapolis. He'll go up to the line, but he'll let a lot of the play clock expire. We'll see.
I don't know. They've been burying him with this no huddle. He may not want to take his foot off their throat.
2nd and 5, and this time it'll be a 3rd and 2 as McGahee gets taken down by Timmons up at the 45-yard line.
It's kind of interesting to me, and I know it hasn't been every time, but it seems like every time Troy Polamalu has been back, Peyton Manning has checked to a run. He's back again.
3rd and 2. And now they hand the ball off, and that's going to be a first down with a shoe coming loose by Moreno. No Sean Moreno, the backup, loses his shoe but picks up the first down. To the 48-yard line, and Lance Ball, the number 3 back, now comes in, flanking Manning in the gun, ticking down to 7 minutes.
Polamalu, middle of the field.
And they give it to Ball with a big hole through the middle, and that's going to result in a first down. Contingent on the spot as Allen and Polamalu make the tackle.
Just lose that X factor in the middle of the field, and he plays like a linebacker. He slices through. He's where you don't expect him to be, and now he's making tackles 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. Now he's coming up
from the 41-yard line.
See if he throws it off to the right side away from Polamalu here. Oh, here comes Polamalu on a blitz though.
And here comes Thomas in to take care of him in case he does. And the handoff going again to Lance Ball, 4th-year back out of Maryland. Ran for over 400 yards last year in a reserve role.
Alan, I'll give you your analyst hat. That's exactly what happened. Polamalu was showing blitz, so Marius Thomas comes down so that he can't. He's going to come shuffling down here to make sure Polamalu doesn't get there.
2nd down and 8. McGahee back in the game. Swinging it to the outside and getting free for a first down is Jacob Tamme to the 20-yard line.
Boy, you just can't beat him. You come up and bump and run. He's going to check to the pick play, come down this time, hit the wheel, up the sideline to Jacob Tamme. Just no way for Cortez Allen to stay with it. He knew exactly where it was. He just looked off the safety and bingo.
Now at the 20 on first down. Peyton only 5 incomplete passes tonight.
Still very foot changing his cover.
And swinging to the outside and getting back to the line of scrimmage is McGahee as he takes it to the 20-yard line, ticking down to 5 minutes to play in regulation.
Well, I don't know how Peyton's neck's doing, but his brain's doing fine.
Yes.
He is picking this defense apart.
Now he comes under center on 2nd down and 10.
Well, you got him to show the blitz. Polamalu switches with Monday, I think it is, in the middle of the field. Now they're going to switch back.
And use a lot of time off the play clock.
Which is just fine.
With the game clock. Right, just what he wants to do, perfectly executed, at least to that point. And to this point as well, as McGahee with some tough running takes it to the 11-yard line to make it 3rd down and 1. Tackled there by Worrells with 4.5 to play.
Pretty nice job on the outside. I think that was Eric Decker that came down and sealed it. When you put on the tape of these Denver Broncos, these wideouts block.
3rd down.
Oh, Polamalu was running right for the center for one of those dive-over kind of plays. And Peyton saw him and said, he backed out of there.
Too smart for that. Here he comes again.
Yeah, he's going to back out again. Get a timeout, I think, here. He didn't like any of that.
Yep. Big play coming up, and he takes the timeout here with 3:56. Has he really been away a year? Doesn't seem like it.
Number 43 almost exclusively on that one is Polamalu. Here you see him coming down, hair bobbing, and Payton said, oh, hold on. And then Polamalu decided he's going to back off. Now he's going to come over from this side. He didn't like that one either. 3rd down and 2. Field goal not enough here. You don't want Ben to be able to win it with a touchdown going the other way.
3:55 each team. 2 timeouts. 3rd and 2. Here comes Polamalu again. Now Tammy comes inside to take care of that, and you have a whistle before the snap.
Got a delay.
Delay. 18 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That hurts off a timeout, but it was the idea that Jacob Tammy was going to have to come down and handle Troy Polamalu. Here we go right here. He's coming down to help. The clock goes to 0. Good call by the official. So Polamalu, even though he hasn't made a play, they haven't snapped the ball, he just cost the Broncos 5 yards.
Created that, makes it 3rd down and 7.
Comes
from the corner, they pick it up, and the pass is with a flag thrown incomplete, intended for Decker. Keenan Lewis with him stride for stride.
Eric Decker made just enough of a move back to the ball.
Pass interference. 23 defense. Spot foul. 1st down.
You can get this call every time as a receiver if you show an effort to go back to the ball. Watch at the top of your screen. There, the hands on. He tried to get back. The official determined that he had enough of a push and a little grab, and that is a humongous call in this game. Tough, close call.
2-way push from the 8. 1st and goal. And they stand up McGahee as he takes the ball to the 7-yard line. Now the Steelers have to begin to think about taking a timeout, but more importantly, they've got to stop him here and hold him to a field goal. That's what it amounts to. And they're minus a timeout as we go toward the end of this game because of that challenge that didn't work earlier. 2nd and goal. Play action. Too high. Stokely in the back of the end zone, covered well, setting up a 3rd and goal.
He tries to go to Stokely there, and you've got to think, anytime we've gotten the one-on-one situations, it's been Stokely he's been looking for. Dick LeBeau on his 75th birthday would like nothing better to put Payton on his back right here.
Stokely slot left, Thomas wide left, Decker wide to the right.
No blitz showing.
Polamalu back at the goal line.
More of a zone read now for Payton.
To the outside he goes, and that's incomplete. Try to work the back shoulder of Eric Decker. Lewis covering on the play, and they will have to settle for a field goal, and it will still be a 1-possession game.
Oh boy, both of these, Keenan Lewis doing everything he can to fight for it. No call there, no way, and that is the correct call. Just 2 guys battling for the football, and that is huge defensively because now Ben Roethlisberger will have a chance to win it.
Matt Prater for a 26-yard field goal. And that will make the score 25-19 with exactly 3 minutes to go. Well, we've had a lot of stuff tonight, obviously, with Manning looking like Manning on his way back. And a lot of credit go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, you're playing a game without Ryan Clark. You're playing a game without James Harrison. You're playing a game without Rashard Mendenhall. You're playing a game where your offensive line is banged up and mixing and mashing. Pretty good.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, Peyton Manning, it's almost a bit of a miracle he's here. 4 procedures on his neck. He said he begged doctors to tell him, you can't play anymore. You're in more danger than what you would have been otherwise. And yet he said, none of them ever said that to me, so I'm playing. Take you back to when he was at Indy, throwing that thing just under 50 miles an hour tonight. Same kind of throw. Maybe a couple of miles an hour off the fastball, but I think they can live with it here in the Mile High City.
Yep. Went to a slider.
Yeah. And he said, you know, every day I go to rehab, so I understand I'm still a work in progress at this point. I am not a finished product, but the product looked pretty sharp tonight.
I don't think Manning is the kind of guy who would ever say he was a finished product.
Pretty good point.
Yeah.
Pretty good point.
Always learning, always something new. Nobody works harder as a coach on the field. We're about the 11 millionth person to tell you that, but it's true. And 9 yards in, Rainey wants to come out.
He wanted the NFL record.
Oh, yeah. He tried to come out before.
Touched out of bounds. The ball, it is a touchback.
Yeah, his foot was actually on the back line. Couldn't have brought it out anyway. He was looking for a Cromartie run back. Well, pretty close.
Yeah, just that little half step. But here we go. You can't ask for anything more than this. You got a chance to see one of these in the Super Bowl once, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Against Arizona. Todd Haley saw it too, but now he's calling the plays with Ben. Ton of time. 3 minutes. We've got 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning and a low snap. And Roethlisberger moving forward throws, hits Brown, and that's a 19-yard gain. And once again, Ben turning junk into a jewel. First down.
It's just remarkable that he can take a snap off the ground, pick it up, find the coverage, find the receivers, and make this kind of throw. It's remarkable.
And we have an injured Bronco.
And a little helmet-to-helmet hit, but at that point, I don't believe he's defenseless. Now he's sort of in a running position, and so I think that's a good no call there.
And that's Chris Harris, who is down on the ground, but up now, sitting up. Flexing, says I'm okay. And of course has to come out for at least one play.
Yeah, and he is their nickel guy, so that does, in this sort of 2-minute situation, if he can't go back in, they take the next step down the ladder. Well, there is so much speed on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers. These receivers, so talented. Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Wallace.
Just saw Tony Carter coming in to take Harris's spot. Jim Leonard is also in the game, the veteran safety. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Three-man rush, 8 back. And Ben will throw that one incomplete in the direction of Sanders, and he went right for Tony Carter's man at that point. 2nd down and 10.
How does he do that and not have the ball fly out of his hand with that pump fake? I mean, it really just looks like, as a defensive player, this looks like a pass, not that.
Yeah.
There's one little pump. Here comes a big pump. It's amazing. His hand is humongous.
Chris Harris comes back in the game now. Not just for the one play. 2nd down and 10. Bottom of the screen. Daly playing press coverage on Wallace. Not letting him get the release after Ben looks that way. Comes back to the left and is intercepted. Picked off and running into the end zone for a touchdown. Tracy Porter.
Where have we seen that before?
Tracy Porter, who locked up the Super Bowl for New Orleans with a pick of Manning, may have locked this one up with a pick of Roethlisberger.
What a game for Tracy Porter tonight. Little inside release, didn't like it. Arrows back outside. You can see Porter looking back at Roethlisberger, and there he goes. And somewhere Peyton Manning is saying, "See, Ben, got me too." Go for 2 here, right?
You do. Well, you want to make it 14. It's 12 right now. Manning saying, "Oh, we're going to put the ball down. We're going to go for 2 after a 43-yard return."
And boy, let the expectations go up in Denver. They were sky high anyway. But after beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's going to be a lot of Super Bowl talk around here.
Takes us to the 2-minute warning with 1:58 left on opening night in Denver. 31-19. Officials mistakenly called for the 2-minute warning. Even though the clock is 1:58, you had a scoring play, which of course gets reviewed. There was no question about whether it was a touchdown or not. But you have to do the conversion before the 2-minute warning, even at 1:58. So a blown call. What else is there? So here's your 2-point conversion with McGahee in the backfield. Manning sending his 3 studs out wide to the left. Polamalu is going to come in and get blocked, but they keep it on the ground and they keep McGahee out of the end zone. That's Larry Foote. So they've already taken the 2-minute warning, and we have 1:58 to play. Coming up after the game, it's the Wendy's post-game report. Michelle will interview the stars of the game, and then Bob, Tony, and Mike will break it all down, and Chris and I will take a look ahead to a very intriguing matchup at Candlestick next week, with Detroit going to San Francisco.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger, you're going to be able to see, he's going to look to his left and get a good view. There was no doubt in his mind what was going on. He saw Tracy Porter there and just tried to squeeze one in that he really didn't have to do, but you can't say he threw it blindly. He was staring right at it the whole time. Just thought that he could thread it in there, and obviously a big mistake.
So Pittsburgh needing 2 touchdowns, down by 12.
Boy, what a difference Tracy Porter makes. You know, you have Champ Bailey on your team, so the other guy is going to get a lot of throws over that way, and Tracy Porter tonight making them think maybe you ought to throw back over to Champ Bailey's side.
Bailey telling us the other day, he said, "I told my defensive line, and look, you guys stop the run. We will take care of the pass. Trust me."
They did. You know, it was a pretty good job, not complete stoppage of the run, but a much better job by the Broncos defensive front 7 than what we saw a season ago.
Well, the Steelers are averaging less than 3 yards per rush tonight, and that'll win you a lot of ball games if you're the defense.
Yeah. I'll tell you, though, you got to give some credit to the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The pressure really has not been a major factor. Elvis Dumervil, Von Miller, they've not gotten there. And this is a banged-up line that played with their final 5 guys available for much of the game.
Only 2 linemen with their hands on the ground. And then they're going to rush 5, and they're going to get to him and spin him down. Speaking of Von Miller, there he is.
Well, they put the tight end that way, but Mike Adams underestimating the quickness of Von Miller off the edge and just couldn't get there. Miller ducks underneath and finally gets to Ben Roethlisberger.
So 2nd down and 15 from the 15-yard line. Again, only 3 this time. Sanders makes the catch. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 from the 25-yard line. Minute and 15 left in reg. Denver going to Atlanta for their next game next Monday. Jets going to Pittsburgh. Under a minute now. And Ben's going to go down at the 15-yard line with Miller there again. Miller just did a Tebow.
everybody off the edge. He's going to go back inside and get the sack. Doug Legursky kind of got lost on that one. We get a Tebow out of this one?
Oh, we do. Of course we do.
All right. Little tribute to the guy that won him a playoff game over Pittsburgh last year.
Well, we've had the mile-high salute and a Tebow tonight.
Yeah, what was the stat, though, that Tim Tebow was the first quarterback to ever win a playoff game in his first or second year and then move to another team?
Right. Well, he completed only 10 passes last year in that game for over 300 yards. There are the numbers tonight. Each guy throwing 2 touchdowns, but Roethlisberger throwing that huge interception that pretty much salts it away.
Now, how about Peyton Manning coming back after almost 2 years away against the #1 ranked defense and putting up a 129 quarterback rating?
Yep.
Come on. Can't do that.
And looking for all the world like Peyton Manning.
As soon as they let him go, let him start doing no huddle.
On every level. And they're going to wrap him up now with another sack. This is Woodyard. So 3 sacks to end Pittsburgh's night. And now a kneel down for Denver will do it. And John Fox will have a big opening night win.
Wesley Woodyard was just sort of spying Ben Roethlisberger here. Really was just waiting, and then all of a sudden he came out and started to run, and Woodyard ends up with a sack. Well, it's just hard to put into words what Peyton Manning must be feeling after all the rehab, after 4 procedures on his neck, after a lot of people wondering whether or not he should retire. What else did he have? He had the Super Bowl ring, he had the 4 MVPs, but it wasn't enough. John Elway telling me that when Peyton Manning first got here, he was 2 days after getting released by the Indianapolis Colts, and he was so stunned that he couldn't even talk to him yet about coming to the Broncos, that he just emotionally wasn't at that point. But boy, what a job Elway did to sell him.
Have to run one more snap. It's like going to a new school. Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I got all these new friends. I'm a little nervous. He's the most popular kid in class right now.
Unbelievable. What a performance.
Well, he answered a lot of questions tonight. I don't know what the rest of the year is going to bring. Who knows? But people wondering, was he healthy? Could he do it? Would he look the same? What's going on? What if he takes a hit? All this stuff. Well, for one night anyway, all A's in his new environment. And Michelle is going to talk to him on our post-game show. He's congratulated by his opposite number, Todd Haley. What a night. Wendy's post-game report coming up next is Denver wins it 31-19 over Pittsburgh. Back after these messages.